What's up? My name is Max. If you're new here, welcome to the channel. If you've been here before, welcome back and welcome to today's video. Alright, so we are back with more Harry Potter news. It seems like as we keep getting closer to the release of the series, everybody's talking more about it, which is awesome, both with people actually working on the show and in the fan base. So we've gotten two really exciting updates, and one of them is very, very interesting for the way the show is going to be. So the first update is a quote from Casey Bloys, the CEO of Warner Brothers, and he was talking about the release of the Harry Potter HBO series. In this quote, he says, "I would say to narrow it down to some extent, early 2027, and now you're going to ask, does that mean January, February, March, April? That we're not ready to say. I'll say early 2027. So that does give us confirmation that the series is going to come out next year. It's not going to be this year, but I think it's exciting that they're not wanting to tell us, because yes, it'll likely be revealed in a trailer and they're going to want to generate hype by including it in there, but they are giving us some answers that yes, it will be next year, and that can help put some fans at ease as to when we might start getting content from it. And yes, while it is a long ways away, this is also kind of good news, because it shows us that they are taking time to work on this show. Again, it's been in production for a while, and we know at Warner Brothers, they're calling this like the biggest streaming event ever. So they're putting their time into this and they're wanting to make it as great as it can be, which is awesome, because like a lot of other people, when this was announced, I had my skepticisms about doing it so soon after the movies, but then I also realized that the last movie came out like almost 15 years ago, which is crazy to think about. So it makes sense that they would want to make new Harry Potter content, and this show sounds like a great way to do it. So yes, while we are like a year away from the first episode of this show, it's cool to hear that they are so confident in talking about it now, and it makes me think we're going to get some great content along the way. Now, to the update that I'm really excited and interested about, we have a quote from our new Draco Malfoy, and it gives us some really good insights as to some of the liberties the series is going to be taking when it comes to straying away from the books. I'm actually pretty surprised by it. So Lox Pratt, who's playing Draco Malfoy, was in an interview, and he revealed that the show is going to show a lot more than the books. Now, this is a really interesting quote to me, because we knew it was going to show more than the movies. It is a series season set for each book, so obviously there's going to be more than a 2-hour movie. But to say that the series is going to show more than the books is really interesting, and we've actually already kind of seen this with some set photos that have been revealed. However, he does have a longer quote here, which I will read. "You get to see all the teachers in their little rooms. You get to see Draco at home. I won't spoil too much about that, but there are some brilliant scenes at home where you start to get insight as to how he is." Now, I think that's really interesting, because it seems like they're going to take some time to flesh out the characters and add a little bit more depth to them. And that could be for better or worse, depending on how they go about it. I think with the way the series is being done, especially with everything they know about the characters with all the books being released. If you're not aware, all of the Harry Potter books were not out when they started making the movies, so they kind of had to go off of what they knew. But now, in an era where it's almost been 20 years since the last book was released, that's crazy to say, we know all of the plot lines, we know all of the story, we know everything. So it doesn't surprise me that they're going to want to maybe take aspects of characters that we learn later on in the books and start planting the seeds for those reveals or changes or reveals about why they are the way they are along the way. And again, this could be a really good thing or a really bad thing. It could be great if they include just little things here and there that show you insights into different characters, but it could be a detrimental thing to potential big reveals or take away some of the stakes later on if you know too much about the characters up front. And yes, I'm sure a lot of people watching the series have read the books or seen the movies, but there's also going to be people that haven't before. And we have to remember with this that they're going to be going into Harry Potter and this is their first exposure to it. So I hope they don't stray too much from the way the source material is laid out so the impact of it hits the same. That being said, if it is done right, I think this could actually be really cool because it could give us some things that, one, we haven't seen. So yes, even though it's not maybe directly from the book, we can see things as Harry Potter fans that we haven't seen before, which is cool because it's new content for us. We also know, outside of Draco Malfoy being shown at Malfoy Manor in season 1, that we are going to get some interactions between Dumbledore and Nicholas Flamel. There were some set photos revealed where they are on a beach together. So what all of this is telling me is we're likely going to be getting a show don't tell way of storytelling with this when it comes to characters. So instead of Dumbledore saying, "I've spoken with Nicholas Flamel," we're going to see Nicholas Flamel and Dumbledore talking. And with Draco, we might get some more insight into his personality rather than just kind of being introduced to it off the get-go, and start to inform a little bit more why he is the way he is. So if it's used as a way of storytelling to show instead of just saying things, I think that's great. And again, if it's not too revealing to things that are big reveals in the future, I think this could be a really cool way to set this series apart from the movies, and again, give us Harry Potter fans who are familiar with everything new content. So yeah, those are the updates for today's video. I'm sure we're going to be getting some new ones as soon as I post this, because that's usually how this goes. But I think these updates are really cool, and it lets us into the world they're creating a little bit more. Thank you so much for watching the video. If you liked it, please like and subscribe. Comment down below what you think of this info. Share the video with a friend you think might enjoy it, and I'll see you in the next one.